What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to be showing you guys 3 very simple ways that you can fix a very common household problem. That is to do with our furniture or cabinet hinges, as we've got right here. When the screws become loose, it's completely threaded or it's blown out completely. I'm going to show you guys some easy ways that you can fix this yourself from home. Let's get straight into it, guys. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the most simplest of repairs and then work our way up to some things that are a little bit more difficult, but they're still very simple and easy to do at home yourself. Now these screws here, if we try and tighten these up, you can see they're nice and loose, completely worn out. Over time that'll wiggle out and then your screws will no longer hold. So the first thing you can do is the easiest option, and that is to compare the screw that you've got here right now and try and find something a little bit bigger. Now, when I say bigger, I don't necessarily mean longer. I mean bigger in terms of the gauge of the screw, which is the thickness of the screw. So this one here, we've got a 6 gauge screw, okay, and it's 16 millimeters. What we can do instead is we can take a screw that is a little bit fatter or a little bit thicker, which we've got here is an 8 gauge screw, and this one here is also 16 millimeters. So keep in mind that our particle boards here, or our MDF, or whatever type of material that you're working with, is generally going to be pretty thin. This one here in particular is 18 millimeters, so we're using a 16 millimeter screw. Now if we take our 6 gauge, we get rid of those, swap them over with a 8 gauge screw. That should hopefully bite on and fix your issue right there. You can see there, nice and tight. Once again, we'll take another 8 gauge. And now we've got a nice solid hinge, nice and simple, simply by replacing the screws with something a little bit larger in diameter. So now we can move over to our second hinge. You can see once again it's loose, doesn't bite. What we can do again, we can try our 8 gauge screw. So we'll take these ones here out. Try the 8 gauge screws, which in this case here are still very loose. You can see there we've still got plenty of play. What I like to do in this case here is something very, very handy. So I pick up these little wall plugs here, which are masonry plugs. They come in a whole range of different diameters. So we've got 5 mil, 6, 7, and 8 millimeters, depending on the size of the hole that you've got. I see a lot of people using golf tees, toothpicks, anything like that, which actually works. But I find that using plugs like these ones here are going to give you a lot more life out of it. And these are generally around the house. Everyone's got them around the house. If not, they're easy to pick up from your local hardware store. So what I do in this case here, we've got our first hole. We can drop a plug in just like that. Take a utility blade or a little razor blade, and you want to just cut that one there flush on the base, and now we've got that one there nicely ready to go. Now with our second hole here, if we try and take that 5 millimeter plug, you can see it's very, very loose. So we'll try go up a size. That's a 6, still no good. We can try a 7 mil, which fits in perfect. Now with this one here, I'm just going to tap it down with a hammer. So because this one here is a little bit tight, tap it down with a hammer. Once again, take our little blade here and just cut that one there flush as well at the base. Once we've got that done, we can put our hinge over the top, move these screws out of the way, line everything up, and that should all bite on nicely now. Nice and simple way to repair a damaged or threaded screw. This works very, very well for your doors, door jambs, anything where you've got a screw and it's become threaded or loose. That is an easy way to get around it and repair it. Now let's move on to something a little bit more challenging. Once again, we've got our screws that are nice and loose. We'll remove these ones here. 2 different types of damage here, because I know a lot of people sometimes end up with damage around the actual base of the hinge here, which means this area is going to be exposed. So what I'm going to show you guys is 2 different ways to repair it. Now this happens when people, especially kids, like to hang on to the doors and they'll rip it off completely and they'll have a big tear out. There's still a way to fix it. So what I'm going to show you guys today is how to fill this here in, make it nice and solid so that we can apply our screws again. So when it comes to selecting a product to fill in these holes, what you want to look for is a couple things. This product here in particular is what I'm going to be using. It's Plastibond by Sellies. This is a heavy duty bog. The reason why I use this one here is, number one, it's got a hardener, so that means we're going to be able to speed up the process. probably about 30-40 minutes. It'll be hard, ready to be screwed, nailed, filed, sanded, painted. That is one of the advantages of using this product here. Not all products out there are going to allow you to file it, to sand it, to paint it, so be careful when choosing your product. The other reason why I'm picking this product here is it has adhesive properties, so we want to make sure that once we fill in this area here and we're ready to screw on our hinges, the material isn't going to simply fall out over time. This one here is going to bond to the surface and we're going to have a nice strong contact right there. So we're going to quickly mix some of this one here up. Add a little bit of hardener. The more hardener you put in there, the faster it's going to go off. So that one there should dry off pretty quick. Mix that up until the color's nice and consistent all the way through. Helps to have two knives. Once you've got that fairly consistent, you can apply it to the area. Now we can overfill this. This particular product here doesn't shrink. And I'll show you guys a little trick so that you don't have to do much sanding, and you might even get away with not sanding at all. So we can leave it technically nice and flush like that, but we're going to raise it just a little bit over the surface. So now we've got the two holes filled. That should take about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how much hardener you put in there, to be ready to have the hinge reinstalled and also painted and sanded. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to just wait a couple minutes until it starts to go hard. Then we're going to take a razor blade. We're going to clean off around the edges. If you've built it up a little bit high, you can also skim off that high spot rather than having to sand. So it's a nice handy tip just before it goes completely rock hard. Use your little razor blade or your scraper and try to do some of that cleaning. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes. So now it should be ready for us to clean off those edges. Simply scrape away some of that excess material. Make it as clean as possible. So now it's been about 20 to 30 minutes, and if we test it, it's now rock hard, ready to have our hinge installed. If we drop our hinge over the top, this section here isn't too bad. We haven't got much damage on the outside of our base here, but on this side here, you can see with the section that we filled in is a different color. This is where it comes in handy to have a filler that's also paintable. So in this case here, we've got a melamine board. We're going to be using a melamine mend. Now this one here is basically just a touch-up brush so that we can get this color as close as possible to the original color without it looking too bad and having it stand out being an eyesore. So we'll line up our hinge, get that as straight as possible. And you can see there it bites on nicely. Same thing on the other side. And now that hinge is nice and solid, ready to go, better than brand new. Now what you can do in this case here, you can remove the hinge completely, paint that area underneath and as well as around it, or you can just patch around the outside wherever it's exposed. So we might as well take off our one. And we're going to use some of this melamine mend. We'll now let this one here dry, come back and give it a second coat. Then we can reinstall the hinge, line it back up with the existing holes. And put our screws back in. And once that's done, this is the finished product, guys. 3 simple solutions to a very common household problem. This one here is probably about 90-95% perfect cosmetically, and the reason for that is because we use touch-up paint. Touch-up paint, you can't expect too much out of it. If you want a perfect flawless finish on your whole door, then I would suggest to paint the whole door itself. 3 simple solutions to get you out of trouble. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. You've learned something new. As always, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.